The man removed his snowshoes, moved cautiously toward the edge and peered over. "I don't see anything." "You have to come further this way. Those icy spikes block the view. Oh, man, this is horrible. I've never seen anything like this." Randy felt the man's hand come down firmly on his shoulder. Oddly, he found the touch comforting. "Take it easy, buddy. Just relax, take a breath. It's down there?" Randy didn't have to fake the tears. They came on their own, and he couldn't imagine why. "Right down there." He pointed, and when the man leaned forward to follow his finger, Randy locked his knees and braced his legs and pushed against the man's back with all the strength he had. The wind carried away the prolonged scream as Randy just stood there, looking out toward the horizon, his face expressionless. It might have been seconds or hours when he finally fell to his stomach again and peered over the edge. It looked like Mr. Gore-Tex was humping one of the ice stalagmites, and Randy thought that was pretty funny. "I told you there was a body down there," he whispered, then pulled a tiny video camera out of his parka pocket and hit the zoom button. Chapter 1. Alan squinted hard at his 3 faces in the tiara's bathroom mirror, trying without any real success to bring a single reflection into focus. But even with his vision swimming and pixelated by vodka, he could see enough to know he looked like a Picasso portrait of Liza Minnelli. His false eyelashes were drooping like tired spiders, spinning crazy webs of mascara down his cheeks, and his smeared lips looked slightly askew, a scarlet counterbalance for his cockeyed wig that was tipping to the opposite side. His billowy white dress had also suffered the indignity of his 12-hour party day, and it was shredding pearls like a vomiting oyster. He cringed as he tried to tease out snippets of the evening from his memory, but there were a lot of black spots in the matrix. Sweet Jesus, Lord Almighty, he was drunk. How many martinis had he had? 2 at home, another 4 or 5 at Camilla's place for sure, and then there had been an unrelenting succession of those disgusting, tragically pink cocktails here at the club, pushed on him by the new Dominican bartender who'd been so guileless in sharing the various intimate locations of his body piercings. The thought of needles being poked into certain sensitive areas of a male's anatomy sent his stomach into turmoil, and he leaned over the sink and splashed cold water on his face until the nausea subsided. When he finally felt sturdy enough, he pushed himself into an upright position and aimed his compass for the nearest exit. The night was young, there were still some A-list parties he was planning to attend, and he needed to sober up before he did, especially if he was going to perform. Fortunately, Camilla had given him the key to her condo, which was just a few blocks away if he went as the crow flies and took the riverside walking path. He'd take a shower, drink some juice, and he'd be up and running again just in time for the drag show. It was never easy negotiating the path along the Mississippi in 4-inch stilettos, even with your sense of equilibrium intact. And it was harder still when you were wearing a fabulous pair of Dolce & Gabbanas you just had to have because they were 50% off at Nyman's, even though they were a size too big. He'd stuffed the toes with cotton balls and had doubled up some duct tape and put it in the heels, because dancing to It's Raining Men wasn't exactly a minuet, and he needed the extra security. But he was still slipping in and out of them as he half careened, half bulldozed down the path, and at one point he stumbled, fell, and came to lying in a nest of damp, putrid-smelling weeds so close to the river he could hear the hiss of water in his ears. He could also hear Wild Jim's psychotic, drunken rants echoing in the darkness. Crazy faggot, crazy queen fell down and broke his crown." Wild Jim was a fixture along this stretch of the Mississippi, and the locals who lived around here knew him every bit as well as the cops did. He was clearly on a superior bender of unknown origin tonight,